Right, good morning, welcome back. Okay, another Harley Davidson Sportster service, but this one today will be slightly longer than the last one, as well as the fluids. On this one, I've got to also do a little bit of fettling because it's been off the road for roughly 18 months, only being ridden very sporadically in between. So we want to check everything front to back, oil all the swivels, pivots, knuckles and joints, and make sure this bike is safe for the coming season. So let's warm it up, load it up on the lift, drain out the fluids.
Do you wanna go to the seaside? I'm not trying to say that everybody wants to go. I fell in love at the seaside. I handle my charm with time and sleight of hand, and. But I'm just trying to love you any kind of way. But I find it hard to love you, girl, when you're far away. Do you wanna go to the seaside? I'm not trying to say that everybody wants to go, but I fell in love at the seaside. At the seaside. At the seaside.
Okay, oil filters, they usually get over tightened. So as you can see here, 3/4 of a turn from the point where that oily rubber seal touches base is all it needs. It won't leak and it will come off in the future when you want it to.
It's sometimes hard to know if the prize is stateside of Nuevo Laredo. Everything has beginning and an end, and when the face.
Now this may be a strange little procedure, but it's marked in your service manual. Take out the bung, just bleed out some oil and then put the bung back in so you don't have an airlock in that drain tube.
Where's my sunlight when the shitstorm begins? It's not when it's time. It's not when it's time. Gonna find a home in backs of boxcars in border towns. Wide eyes, mescal compound. In the city there's a skyrise, beyond, below, above, and there's a billion people I'm not thinking of. Slowly slip into uneasy sleep as Tom McAdam boils under feet. It's not hand in hand when the fight feels futile. Life's injustice wins. Where's my sunlight when the shitstorm begins?
I've made a living just by selling my soul. And I keep on drinking.
Now these quad ring rubber seals here, they love to pop out of their track just when you're putting the casing on and then leak later on. So smear them over in some grease, it holds them in their groove, and then when you pop the casing on it helps them seat nicely against the face and seal every time. And it seems every time I use my T-bar torque wrench here I get inquiries about it, so I'll pop a link in the description if you're interested in one for yourself.
Well, I've come a lot of
Sing that.
heartache. Even my family's turned cold. Stay happy. At least that's what I've been told. Every time I seem to put the bottle down, life walks up and buys me one more round.
Right, okay, now that's all the fluids changed and all the relevant checks done. Clutch adjustment and primary chain check, everything's within spec and everything's great. Plugs cleaned, regapped, everything's good to go. But this bike has been off the road for quite a while, so now I just want to do a few safety checks here and there just to make sure it's all safe for the road and lubricate a few bits and pieces that might have stiffened up over a long time sat in a damp garage. Let's get on with it. Okay, periodically, whether it's service time or not, it pays to check the health of your final drive belt too. Check every single rubber tooth to make sure none are broken, missing or badly damaged, because a busted rear drive belt can wrap around the back axle and cause an accident. Also, while you're at it, check the tension of the final drive belt too and make sure that it's within tolerance. Alright, now just about every single motorcycle has a side stand switch to tell you you've left the stand down, and it's always in that filthy gunky area around the pivot. So get some degreaser, clean it all up down there, get all the gunk and filth off and some fresh white lithium grease in there to lubricate the pivot and the switch and make sure it's working cleanly and freely.
Old Jim Beam used to be my friend.
Okay, this is a 5-year-old bike, so those tyres have been on the road a fair while. The tread's not worn out, but you have to look up close and personal for any telltale perishing cracks to make sure the rubber's not drying out, because if it is, they should be replaced because they're not going to grip as well as they used to.
Life walks up and buys me one more round.
Now, even if you've had nothing to do with your rear wheel, it still pays now and again to check your alignment. And as I did here, set the tool on the left hand side, moved it round to the right hand side of the bike to see if it was the same, and lo and behold, it was about 3 mil out on the rear axle alignment, which is not a great deal, possibly not even detectable, but it's out, and if it's out, you can simply adjust it so it's absolutely perfect. So flip out the circlip, loosen the axle nut, and then make that fine-tune adjustment to make sure that your rear wheel alignment is absolutely perfect. As you can see, clever Harley Davidson put the rear wheel axle nut so you cannot access it with a socket unless you take the rear shock absorber off. So I'm using some Weehaw smooth jaw wrench pliers. I'll put a link to them in the description. Okay, there we go. That's about as much as we need to do. Everything else will be done after various test rides. Certainly as far as finishing the exact top off of the oil, it needs to be full working temperature, but we've made sure there's plenty in there to be going on with. Now, that is a quick run through of a service and a few checks here and there, but all the detailed tutorials are underneath this video in the description if you need them. Other than that, thank you for watching, take it easy, ride safe, and we'll see you next time.